So I'm sure some people here on the channel were here and watching back in the summer of 2024 and back in the fall of 2023, right before the bull market took off. And what's interesting is we're dealing with a lot of the same stuff in terms of ADA. We're dealing with a little bit of suppression. There are some entities pushing back on ADA in a big way, but the problem is this is not going to end well for them. And I want to show you guys exactly what I mean, because right now what we're seeing in terms of Cardano is more push than ever. And this is where the breakouts get very, very exciting. So if you guys are new or haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, hit that bell again. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So you have to understand that when we're talking about assets in general, you can only hold price back for so long, especially when you're making major strides like Cardano is. We have seen so many developmental upgrades. We've seen so many potential integrations that are coming about. We've actually seen interest from governments and enterprises and all these things that we talk about in insane ways here on the channel because they're happening so frequent. They are the reason why ADA is starting to be the cat that's let out of the bag. All right. People are starting to pay attention. And unfortunately for those, there are people who are trying to suppress things right now, and it's not going to end very well for them. And I'll show you guys this in just a moment. But what we're seeing right now throughout this market cycle is ADA begin to go parabolic from a much bigger, broader perspective. Yes, there will be pops and dips and sideways and blah, blah, blah. Right. But what we're doing is we're starting to do one of these. We are creating a very vertical parabolic move to the upside in terms of ADA. And it takes time to play out. All right. And what we're starting to see is that, again, we're dealing with a lot of that same suppression that we saw back here in late 2023, same suppression we saw back here in late 2024. And what they're trying to do right now is they are, in fact, trying to suppress price in terms of ADA. If you don't believe me, take a look at what short interest looks like. All right. Look at all these shorts that even since the announcement back on March 2nd, look at them all try to pile in on top of ADA and try to push this price down. And right now, they've been lucky. And why I'm saying they've been lucky is sentiment has been such shit that we haven't had these big extended moves. Because again, we're, like I talked about in my earlier video, we're waiting for that USDT dominance to drop. We're waiting for that lot of intra-market capital to start flowing back into assets. Now, here's the problem for them. Once that starts happening, it can move very quickly. And the reason why is we have to ask ourselves, what was present back here? What was present here? What is present here now? Good fundamentals. We are sitting on a group of holders that have major conviction, that are unwilling to dump their bags. Me at these prices, unwilling to dump my bags. Doesn't matter to me at this point, this retracement that we've been on. I've seen some people, complacing about it or complaining about it. Yeah, you know what? Hindsight is always 2020. The problem is you never know when these runs are going to stop. Because if you start to have more people that come in, that see what's taking place in terms of Cardano, that really truly understand what's happening, they're unwilling to dump their bags for pennies on the dollar. And then what you have is a major supply shock, like we've been talking about. It all comes full circle, right? And what we've been seeing during this time is a lot of strength in terms of holders. And in fact, over the last 72 hours, we have seen ADA whales, these are the whales that are holding between 10 million to 100 million ADA, have actually added 130 million ADA to their bags. All right. So why this is interesting is this is a pretty drastic shift because the group that has been very consistently accumulating has been those holders between 100 million to 1 billion ADA. So now we have seen a group that has actually they actually were selling kind of on the way down. They have started to reaccumulate. So now we're starting to see the speculators begin to move back in and prep their positions for this next run. And this is not going to end well for the shorts. It's really not. This isn't financial advice. This isn't a guarantee, but we've seen these things many times before. And what it has led to is even bigger, more extended breakouts for ADA time and time and time again. All right. So this is kind of the big, we'll call it market warning. All right. This is kind of your last chance to really build positions, I think, around these ranges. I'm not saying we can't go lower, right? But if you haven't noticed, things are starting to change just a little bit. Fundamentals for ADA and Cardano still remaining incredibly strong. And now we're on the verge of, major stables, potential huge government integration, potential digital asset or asset in the digital stockpile. I mean, there are big things happening right now. And the problem is, with this presence of short interest, it only took this much short interest to send ADA all the way up to $1.18. What do we think this can do? Can send it up to new cycle highs pretty darn easily, probably about $1.80 to $2. All right, not a guarantee, not financial advice, but I hope people are starting to piece this together. We're not out of the woods yet in terms of overall sentiment. We're not out of the woods yet in terms of, inflation data and stuff like that. But all it takes is one right piece of information and the charts can send. The big thing I'm focusing on next week, FOMC meeting. I don't think we're going to get an interest rate decrease. That's almost off the table right now. The betting odds on that are very, very low. But if Jerome Powell hints at that sentiment, hey, inflation's doing what we need it to do. We're getting back on the right track. We may have potential cuts coming down the road, right? If that sentiment echoed by Jerome Powell is positive, don't be surprised if the market starts making some moves, if we start liquidating some of these shorts. This is not a spot where I want to be betting against the crypto market. The problem is the embrace is becoming too big. The optics are becoming too large. And eventually there's a point where the masses are, in fact, going to start flowing back in. And that is, again, where ADA tends to perform its best. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below, but have a great day. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.